Hey everybody, good morning. Mestre Sukuryu coming to you with another video from Tokyo, Japan. Yesterday I did a video on the word, this last week I did a video on the word racism, and yesterday I did on racism and reflections of racism in my experience in Japan. Today's video is going to be racism and discrimination in Capoeira. So I'm bringing it back to what we're talking about here on Mestre Vibes, which is basically Capoeira. First, when I talk about racism and discrimination in Capoeira, I cannot tell you guys how important it is for me to stress that I'm not talking about Capoeira as a whole. I can only talk about those experiences that I personally can analyze. Okay? I wrote a lot of notes today so that I can look down. So if I look down, you know I'm just looking at the notes. But don't forget, if you like what's going on here, which we're getting a lot of positive feedback, remember to subscribe. It supports the channel. Also, if you notice today, let's see if I can get out here, I'm wearing our new Samba de Sereia Live Brazilian House in Tokyo shirt. If you'd like, I got the link down beneath. You can pick it up in Teesprings, and every purchase supports what we do and how we're doing things here. Okay? So don't forget, if you'd like to pick up one of our t-shirts, it's right here. Okay, so let's get into it. And let's take a very serious topic, but I think as intelligent and mature people, we can discuss topics that need to be discussed, okay? So first, like I said, I can't talk about racism and discrimination in Capoeira for everybody. I can only talk about the experiences that I've had and the ones that I can analyze, okay? I'm also not infallible, so please don't think I'm talking like this is the way it is. I'm talking about experiences and how I saw them, okay? First, I want to break it down into three different time frames. Let's say when I first started Capoeira, the first 10 years, the second 10 years, and now that I've reached past 30 years of Capoeira, the last 10 years, okay? And the last 10 years becoming Mestre also gives me a different perspective once I realized how my life changed because of this one simple word and how I value it and want to take it forward as best as possible. Quote, Americans can't be mestres, unquote. It's something I heard Brazilian Capoeira players say many, many years ago. And at the time, I took it more as, wait, you don't have the capability or the quality or the skill to make an American a mestre or a non-Brazilian a mestre. So I didn't take it as Brazilians saying Americans can't be mestres. I took it as this one individual or individuals are incapable or don't have the ability to graduate someone who's non-Brazilian as a mestre, because everything that goes along with graduating a mestre is in-depth, profound, and takes years. So I took it that, and not only gave me greater resolve to learn Capoeira, but also kept me from wasting my time and just moving forward. So do I see that as a racist thing to say? Yeah. I mean, what could be more simple to say? Yeah? It's like saying, oh, no Brazilian can be a teacher in America. How ridiculous is that? Okay? It's just based on the thing. But also, I know where the person was coming from when they said that. At that point in their life, they weren't doing too good, and they wanted to resort to Capoeira to create an alternate income, an alternate source of social identity. And this created a lot of stress because it wasn't going as the person wanted. So that person used other tactics to make themselves feel validated. Makes sense, right? So Americans can't be Capoeira mestres. Impossible, right? No, we're here. Non-Brazilians have been mestres for the last 15, 20 years. The level of respect is just like each person to each person. I can only talk about my experience. The next one. A common complaint I hear a lot in capoeira from non-Brazilians about Brazilians is Brazilians tend to graduate and give cordons, capoeira belts, to other Brazilians faster than non-Brazilians. I think here we need to be really careful also, although a lot of times the excuse is, oh, they're Brazilian, they understand the culture more readily, they understand the music more readily, they understand the singing more readily, they can sing more readily. First of all, after 30 years of doing capoeira, that is really just humorous to say. It's ridiculous. Just because somebody's born in a country doesn't mean they can pick up something like, okay, so a white American is going to be better at hip hop. A French girl is going to be better at ballet. If you think that's what makes a person good at something and not hard work, dedication, and diligence, then you've never worked hard for anything in your life. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Nothing. If you're in a group that you feel that this is going on, then you as a paying customer or as a part of that group need to talk to the person and communicate your feelings. If that person has created an environment where you feel there is racial division or racial discrimination based on being Brazilian or non-Brazilian and moving forward or not moving forward, then maybe you need to find another group. It's that simple. You're paying. It's your time. It's your capoeira. It's not their capoeira. It's not that teacher's capoeira. It's not that group's capoeira. It's your capoeira. Capoeira is too big. It is the epitome of social, intellectual, mental freedom, mind, body, and soul. So to say, oh, I'm in a group and they promote Brazilians faster. If that's racist in itself, okay, but that's those people's choices. Your choice to be a part of that and to succumb to that is your choice. So what I would say, have I seen situations like this? Yes. Many times. But that now comes down to the ability of those teachers to provide an adequate leadership and an adequate product for their students or for their capoeira group. Those are choices made by other people. Do I agree it's racist? What did I say in the video before? Racism. When you judge a person by who they are, their nationality, ethnicity, color, whatever, when you judge them by that and make your decision by that, then it's racism. It becomes discrimination if you feel that, for example, you've been in the group longer, you've worked harder, but this person just for being Brazilian gets a cordon faster or gets more group power, then that is discrimination. But we're not living in the dark ages. You have a voice, so use it. Don't make excuses about not being able to get higher in a group or something, because the truth is, it's your capoeira life, your path of capoeira. So is it the first 2 points? Are they racist remarks? Yes. Are they productive and are they coming and do they control capoeira? No. Okay. Now, the last point I want to talk about, sorry, I'm looking at my notes too, is when I first formado, let me put it in a different way. When I first formadoed Mestre Linguiça, Blue Cordon, many years ago, we made a list of what I thought was important. This goes back to the one right now about Brazilians being promoted faster and learning and teaching and being able to do things easier. No, it comes through hard work. When Mestre Linguiça formadoed, I had no blueprint, no plan on how to formado a non-Brazilian capoeira person when I was non-Brazilian, right? Because I was trained under Brazilians and I was able to get a lot of information. So, easiest thing I could, we sat down one night and we went over 120 chulas, corridos, quadras, We went over 20 different ladainhas or more. We went over so many technical aspects of capoeira music and puxada de rede, dança afro. There's videos here on Mestre Vibes of Mestre Linguista doing orisha dance, samba shows, playing percussion with world famous musicians. He is not an outspoken person, but if he dedicated himself to something like capoeira and music and Brazilian culture, then how come he can't do it? There's a lot of people I know who are better quality-wise, technical-wise, understanding-wise. So that's just an excuse to say, oh, just because I'm born somewhere, so just because I'm born Chicano, Mexican-American, does that automatically mean I know everything about Mexican culture? That I own it? It's ridiculous. Okay. Now, my last point. So that was the first 10 years and the second 10 years. What really stuck out in my mind. Now, let's talk about the last 10 years, where in the last 10 years I was formado Mestre, and for me it is a very profound and deep and life-changing experience. The value of the word Mestre, I like to use the word in English master also, because we when we think about the word master, it gives us a profound idea of what that person represents. So for me, Mestre has to represent something of integrity, of leadership, of organization, of compassion, of pride in their job, and just moving forward constantly because you have to, because other people are watching. Someone asked me, since I became a Mestre, have I felt a lot of racism from the Brazilian community for being a non-Brazilian racist? What would you think? I hope you said yes, because it's not true. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people say they don't want to stay around with capoeira because it gets stressed out with all the racism, with all the politics. And I don't like using the word politics in capoeira because politics is an educated word, and most of the conversations are not educated. They're just opinion-based and whiny and complaining and just yelling at each other. There's no basis of logic in any of the conversations a lot of times. That's fine. What I want to say is, since I've become a Mestre of Capoeira, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I've only had positive racial experiences with Brazilian Mestres of Capoeira. To all my brothers and sisters, formados, formadas, professores, professoras, contramestres, contramestras, mestres e mestras, thank you for making me feel part of the capoeira world. That doesn't mean to say that I've not had personality conflicts, which I have had like any human being. But today, the world of capoeira is changing. And although there are, like with anything, some bad apples, there are a lot of good people who respect the hierarchy of capoeira. And this is something that I think a lot of people outside of Brazil need to understand. And I'm talking to you about this from over 30 years of interaction in the art. 20 years as a professional teaching and leading. Okay? I've had an amazing experience. To be honest, when I first became Mestre, I had more non-Brazilians criticize my authenticity, criticize what I was doing, and criticize me as a person. That in itself means they can never become Mestres. Here in Japan, I heard many times, demo, Sukuri-san. Sukuri-san's a polite way of saying my name, but they don't say Mestre. They don't want to use the word because they're not part of the cultural background of capoeira. I've only been, and I was told, oh, because I'm not Brazilian, I can't be a Mestre. Here. Many times I've heard it. Think about it. I've had only good, positive experiences. Maybe because I put my time in. Maybe for whatever reason. Maybe because people want to befriend me or stay away from me. I don't know. Because I can only talk about the things that I hear first person, not things I hear behind my back. Okay? Everything I'm talking about are things I've heard or present or physically present to witness. Racism and capoeira. Discrimination. Of course. How you let that affect you and whether you let that end your capoeira, it's up to you. And I never let it guide me or affect me. Subscribe, like, share, leave comments. This is a good topic, and I'm going to keep going because there's a whole bunch of people who love capoeira. And I want to get out there and I want to be a productive and positive Mestre. Next video, I'm going to show you guys how to count and understand the count of the beating bounce, Angola, rhythm, and sambento. So you guys can get better at playing music and we can all grow the quality of capoeira together. All of us together. Love, peace, Mestre vibes, and lots of capoeira.